first thing, don't be ashamed of having an accent or something like that. I'm proud of my accent, and I will say that I purposely use my accent because I'm proud of my background. So I don't know, I don't care about my accent. I like to put it there, even when I could speak better without an accent. But I would say don't be ashamed of using your accent. Don't be ashamed to speak with other people that are from here. And actually, it's really good to practice a lot, as much as you can. In my case, I decided to write in the newspaper, in the university newspaper, and that's something that anyone can do it. You don't have to be a journalist to write in the newspaper. And that was really good because it helped me to practice. So I just decided I'm going to write, even though I'm scared that it might not be that good, and I'm going to speak also because that's the only way.
English is not my first language, but I also learned English from the school when I was in Hong Kong. But when I first came here, yeah, it took me some time to get used to speaking English more often. But I think the professor and the student, they're really supportive. They would have the patience to listen to you because sometimes you might not be able to express yourself completely clear. So you just need to be patient and don't give up on trying to express yourself, and they will try to understand to you. Yes.
Very intimidated at first because you're just scared that you're not gonna get it, that you won't be able to communicate, and it can be very difficult. I still face a lot of difficulties when I'm communicating with people, but you just gotta have patience because it does get better. I mean, you're talking in English 24 hours a day, so it will improve. There's just no way it won't. So it has improved a lot for me ever since I got here, and it only tends to get better. So I think it's a great, great challenge.
At first, it's really difficult because you have to get used to studying everything in English, talking all the time in English. But an advice is just like, if you know the language, you can do it. Like, you don't have to care if you have an accent or anything. Just like focus on getting your stuff and speaking. Don't be shy, because I mean, international students will gonna be at the same situation.
It's a slow process because actually when I first came here, teachers didn't understand me, no one understood me, and then our English is actually British English, so no one understood, like, you know, words like rubbish or trousers or, you know, trainers, which there's sneakers here, but so it took some time to get used to, you know, having to switch different words and, you know, saying water and, you know.
I still have my accent, so when I came here, it was hard for people to understand me sometimes. It still is. They're like, oh, can you slow down, or, you know, and again, I don't feel like it's going to change. I feel like it's going to be really hard to try and speak American because I came here 2 years ago, so it's not like I came here at a younger age like she did, where she went through the high school system and gradually would do that. So
my second language is French. The French language enabled me to get the English language faster than someone who's coming from, let's say he has this, he's Arabic, coming from Arabic country, and he wants to go for the English right away. So it's a little bit difficult for me, but it's easy. Everything is easier as much as you practice. So I did practice it in home with my friends, with my family, and at work. So it gave me this courage to speak up and not to be afraid. And even though my spelling or sometimes my accent is going for French more than English, but that's me. I cannot change myself. So keep it up is French. So it's a mixture of French. No, it's English, but some spices is of French.
I studied in an English system before. I did my bachelor's in Kuwait University, where my study was in Arabic. Well, my English improved because I worked with Americans in Kuwait Institute for Scientific Research. But honestly, I didn't have that much confidence to speak. I always thought that when I speak English, I will make a lot of mistakes that will embarrass me. Nobody will understand what I'm saying, so I prefer to keep quiet. But then with time, with the help of professors, they encourage me to talk. They give us like presentation assignments. I have to do a presentation. Step by step, I started to gain more confidence. I started to talk with my colleagues, my classmates. I don't believe I'm perfect or my English language is as fluent as I wish, but it's improving, and that's what's making me happy about it.
When I first got to America, this was in 2005. When I first got here, yes, it was very difficult. Even my own aunt couldn't understand me because I said bus as in bus, like, you know, the transportation. And she started cracking up. She's like, he said boss, like as in the employer, you know. So different words that I would use, they're like, what is that? So what I decided to do, or what I started to do was, I don't know how well I've gotten, but I tried to sound more neutral. Like I try to get rid of the accent a little bit.
How did you do that?
I'm working on my American accent. So I tried to work on the American accent, obviously, to make it a little easier for people to understand. For people that don't really understand, if they keep saying what, or then I'll slow down. I'll start talking really slow. I take my time with each word to make sure they can understand me clearly. If not, I'll just write it down and let them read it. But most people didn't have a problem with my accent. They actually like hearing me talk, and I like talking. So after a while, even if they're not understanding, they pretended like they did and they enjoyed themselves. But I find that if I really want someone to understand what I'm saying, I have to slow down and remember that I do have an accent. I didn't believe it at first, but yeah, I do have an accent.